Good evening, everyone. Welcome. My name is Kyle Bergman. I'm the festival director for the Architecture and Design Film Festival. Excuse me. Thank you so much for coming out this evening. We are very, very excited to be showing the 20th year anniversary of My Architect. It is a fantastic film. How many people have seen the film before? Any people seen the film? No. It came out, a few people. It came out 20 years ago, and it was nominated for an Oscar for Best Documentary of the Year. It didn't win, but it's amazing to get nominated for that. And what I love about this film, and why we're showing it again, is that it is, as architects and designers, I think we had a great love for it because it was about Louis Kahn, but the general audience loved it because it's really a son's search for his father. It's a universal story. It's an amazing story. And it is, when I first started thinking about the film festival in 2000, I didn't know exactly what to do. When I saw this film come out, I realized that this film was the sweet spot. It's the kind of film we're looking for. It is, both has a design story and a human story. And still to this day, it becomes, I think it's like the bar that we're looking for, that we're looking for films that have both of these stories. A couple of great things about the film is that, well, not great, but interesting things is many of the people who are interviewed are no longer here. So it's very interesting to see that, including Doshi. There's a fair amount of the film that's in South Asia, and there's a great interview with Doshi in the film. And, you know, I think Louis Kahn's importance here in India is, you probably all know how about his buildings and the importance of them and the challenges of them, of where they are in their current state. So it really seems appropriate to be showing the film here. It is really a classic film. I want to say after the screening, the director, Nathaniel Kahn, is going to be here virtually. He's going to be on a Zoom call with myself and local architect Brinda Somaya, who you guys all probably know. So we're going to have a conversation afterwards about the film and about the legacy of Louis Kahn here in India. So I would definitely say stick around for that. And I can't say how great it is that a film stands the test of time. I mean, some films you see them and they're good in the moment, but when a film is still really good 20 years later, you know that it's a classic. And I consider this is really the classic architecture and design film. Before we start, I just want to say a few things. The festival doesn't happen without the generous support of our many sponsors who you can see up here. So if you see them out during the festival, thank them. It's really critical that they support us, because by them supporting us, we can all be here together. And there will be 1 or 2 commercials before the film starts from one of our sponsors. And thanks so much for coming out. There's films all day tomorrow and Sunday. Enjoy the films and don't leave afterwards. Stick around for the conversation with Brinda, myself, and Nathaniel. It should be really interesting. Thank you.
What is color? Is it even real? Most of us know that it hovers between a world of sensations and facts. We experience color at a subliminal, visceral level. For us at Asian Paints, color perception is rooted in ratios, values, and data, which makes color tangible. It's like holding light in your hands. A cross-pollination of physics, chemistry, mathematics, and biology percolates into an understanding of what we call color. This is how we make color real. How does one begin to alchemize decades of understanding color into a physical form with precision, detail, brevity, and clarity? Asian Paints ChromaCosm, the world's largest architectural color system.
For sticking around, and you're in for a treat. We're going to bring Nathaniel Kahn onto the screen, but we also have Brinda Somaya, the architect and founder of SNK. Brinda, come on out. She is an award-winning architect. She's been here in Mumbai for many, many years. She's received UNESCO Heritage Awards for the work that she did on Kahn's building. Hi, Brinda. Thanks so much for joining us. And we're gonna let's sit down, and we're gonna bring Nathaniel on, and he's gonna come on screen, and we're gonna have just a little conversation about with Nathaniel and about preservation and just about life in general. So, what is it like? There's Nathaniel, and we can see Nathaniel right there. Hi, Nathaniel.
Hi, Kyle. Hi, Brenda.
Can you hear us okay?
I can. I hear you perfectly.
Oh, nice. You look good. It's
So do both of you. How's the audience? Most importantly.
Let's hear. There we can see everyone.
That's great.
It's really great to show it here. When was the last time it was shown here, or has it ever been shown here, Nathaniel?
It has been, but I think it's been 15 years.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
and were you here when it was shown?
Yes, I was. Yes, which was just wonderful. And I long to come back to India. I wish I were there with you in Mumbai. It's so exciting that you have the festival there. It's just wonderful and great to see you. It feels, I can't believe we're separated by so many thousands of miles. I feel right in the room with you, and I want to reach out and have a glass of that water with you and sit there with you.
Well, we have you here. So talk a little bit about, before we get into it, talk a little bit about, it's 20 years, over 20 years now since the film was made, and you remastered it and made this mix, and actually there was, in the States, it traveled all over again, and it had a second life. And what's it like bringing it back 20 years later? You're in a different place in your life, the whole thing. Give us that, what's it feel like to see it again and live it again?
Oh, well, of course. I mean, you see me now on screen, so it's difficult because life goes on and one gets older. So that part of it sucks. But aside from that, it's wonderful to be able to come back to something after so many years and realize that it still has relevance, and it has relevance to a new audience. And I think about the journey that happened over 20 years ago, and I couldn't make the journey now because many of the people who are in the film are gone now. And so it reminds me that that life goes on, and that time does not stand still, and that we must continue to try to do good work in the world. And I feel, as a father now, which I am.
So we should say, Nathaniel's
An older father.
you have a 3-year, how old now? 2-year?
It's 9 months. She's 9
9
months
months.
old.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Nathaniel's now a father, and so being a father,
Yes.
after looking at this film, how does that affect you?
Well, I didn't realize this was going to be a public psychology session. But I don't know what
It's
to
just
say about
between
that.
us. There's really no one here. It's just us.
Sure, right. It's wonderful. Beyond wonderful. There are no words for it. But seeing the film again, and I wish I'd been there in the room with you, because so much of what is great about films, and one wants to say that, is that, seeing a film with other people in the room is kind of a sacred experience. It really is. Watching a film together is, it's like a temple for me, because it feels like there is a communal experience that everyone shares, and that there's no way to get that virtually by watching it on your smartphone. It has to be something that happens in a room. So I wish I was there with you, to feel what that room felt in watching the film. But I feel that I would have special feelings being a father in that room with all of you. But the feelings are complicated about my own father now that I am a father, because it's difficult. It's difficult to sort of look at a person like my dad and to kind of wind back the clock and say, could he have made different choices? And that's what's so wonderful about what Shamsawara says at the end of the film, that, he couldn't do that. He wasn't able to integrate his life. I think that at the time I made the film, I sort of accepted that. Now I do not. And I say, I think it is necessary to try with everything you have in your whole being to balance your life and find a way to love whom you love and do the things that you love. I think both things are necessary, and I think both things are possible. I think it's way too easy to say, well, if you want to be great at what you do, you have to sacrifice everything else. And I don't think that's true. You might have to sacrifice sleep, and you might have to make some hard choices. But I think it's possible. I hope it's possible. Yeah. So I'm struggling with some of those feelings.
Yeah. Well, maybe Lou wasn't good at balance. He might...
No, he wasn't. But I also think it's important to look at something like that. I'm not judging him. The film does not. I'm not interested in judging in the films that I make. I'm interested in experiencing and somehow putting something into the world that we can all talk about and think about. I'm looking at you, Brinda, and I'm thinking you're a person who's balanced your life, seems to me, and you are able to do great architecture and great work, and also attend to your family and those whom you love. I'm interested. Has that been a struggle for you, or does that come easily to you?
Can you hear, Brinda?
I missed that.
It's hard to hear a little bit from you, but what is it like for you, the balance? Because you've been able to balance your work and your family, and what is the secret to that? Because it's not easy.
Well, first I've just got to say that, hi, Nathaniel.
Hi.
And after seeing such a beautiful film, every time I see it, I enjoy it more and more, and I've seen it many, many times. I feel quite emotional after seeing such a beautiful film, and I cannot ever stop thinking about how you have been so honest in this film about yourself, about your father, and about the profession of architecture itself. So it's truly wonderful. And I don't think any of us can compare our lives with somebody like Lou. I mean, the brilliance, the uniqueness. Now, whether you agree with what he did, we all often think that when an artist is truly a genius, then there are many compromises that they make in their lives. I consider myself a much more ordinary person. So,
I don't know, other people consider you much more than that.
so the balance perhaps is much easier.
Yeah.
But it was a delight to see everything. And I think over the years, when I first won the competition to restore the Indian Institute of Management, it was to restore 18 dormitories as well as the beautiful buildings around the Louis Kahn Plaza. Mm-hmm. And we had earlier, my studio, we had worked with other architects on certain collaborations. Mm-hmm. And I always included Lou as a collaborator because I felt that as a conservationist and an urban conservationist and an architect, I had to hear his voice to be able to do justice to whatever I did for those beautiful buildings. And I think getting to know Nathaniel, of course, I met Sue-Ann only once, but Nathaniel's mother, her beautiful book which she sent me with, which is inscribed, and Zoe, Flora, all of them, it's like a family. Mm-hmm. And I feel that when you restore a building, if you know who has built it, it's a very different feeling than if you restore a building of an unknown architect, however beautiful it is. So there was much more of an emotional connection I felt and still feel between Nathaniel, the family, and of course the buildings themselves.
Yeah, and I think that that's great, but there's also something about preserving. I mean, in a sense, this film has been preserved by being remastered, and it's preserving the ideas. And you guys did something really significant because you showed that things can be preserved where maybe others were doubtful about it. So talk about that in the bigger picture, not just in those buildings, but the value.
Well, in India we have over 10,000 listed monuments even by the ASI. So 20th century architecture doesn't have an important enough place. That's what I feel personally. Yeah. And I think that's why buildings like IIM and other buildings in Ahmedabad and Delhi and other places like that really need to be preserved. Yeah. So we worked particularly on the library, which was one of the biggest buildings on the property. And one of the dormitories we chose actually the worst dormitory because we were trying to prove that if the most dilapidated, so to say, dormitory could be restored, then all the other 18 logically could also be restored. Mm-hmm. So that's how we began, and we were able to succeed with the library completely. It was a tough job because the buildings had their own problems. We all know about the brick and the sand and the cement. And
getting old is not easy.
everything that was there. But we succeeded, we restored it, and proud to share that, of course, conservation, and I believe everyone's not Louis Kahn, but the way we work, architectural projects are very much the result of many people working together. Mm-hmm. And so we were very proud when the UNESCO gave us the award, distinction. Mm-hmm. And in the notation, they said that it actually leads and shows what can be done to preserve 20th century architecture in India. Mm-hmm. And it should lead by example. But I'm sorry to say that subsequently the project itself was stalled, and we are not connected with the project anymore.
Yeah. Well, it is. I mean, Nathaniel, are you at all? I mean, obviously you're watching it. Are you in any way connected with the ongoing project?
Well, yes, in the sense that I'm deeply concerned about what is happening in Ahmedabad. And, but hearing Brinda speak about her work there and the work of her team, it is such incredible work. And to see the library, which really was the most complex structurally of all the buildings at IIM, to see it so beautifully restored and to know that it has the structural integrity that it didn't even have when it was first built, is such a sort of a beyond proof of concept. It's proof of the lasting value and integrity of those buildings. So I am following it to the degree that I'm deeply concerned that I want to make sure that that work is followed through, because Brinda's work has proven that it can be not only saved, but that it can continue as a vibrant work of architecture and inspiration for the students. And one of the things which I have found most moving is talking to the generations of students who went to IIM and speak about the inspiration that the buildings and the campus, it's not just buildings, it's the organization of the buildings, the way they fit together, the way they speak to each other. That is actually, in many ways, the greatest, I think, the greatest achievement of the complex, because it's the only sort of full plan that was ever built of my father's. He had plans for the Salk Institute that were much larger, never built. Plans for the many of his projects, even the project in Dhaka, was a much larger thing, only partially built. The only project of his that was fully realized as a plan, a campus plan, all of his plans for Philadelphia, as you've just seen, came to nothing. But the idea of the spaces between buildings and how they interact, that's the urban fabric. That's the idea of the way the spaces themselves do something to you when you move through them. The only place that that was ever realized in his whole career is at IIM. So it's essential not to preserve these things as little icons. It's wonderful that we preserve one piece of it, but it's the holistic conception of the campus that needs to be preserved. And that value is something that all the students talk about. So my hope is that the administration, the new administration, and there is hope because there has been some movement towards perhaps not tearing them down. And let's be clear, there was the idea that they were going to tear down the dormitories and preserve one little fragment, which of course would be the beautiful job that Brinda did with the library and the couple of blocks next to it. But that's just a fragment. The idea that they would tear down the dormitories would completely destroy that magical space that is created by the buildings together. And that loss is what the students were talking about. Anybody could put up with a room that isn't perfect if you're in an environment that is inspiring. So, the idea that we've created something back in the 1970s that doesn't necessarily, add up to all of the beautiful amenities we all like to have now. I went to school in a university where the room wasn't so great. It was bunk beds and everything, but it's what I learned and what I experienced in the space and the people that mattered. So that's the thing that needs to be preserved at IIM. And Brinda has shown us the way that it can be done. So my hope is that if the people up in Ahmedabad are listening, that that value is irreplaceable. Once you've taken that away, you never get it back, because that's magic. That's the magic of a place. And ultimately, that's what architects are trying to create and so rarely succeed. But it happened in Ahmedabad. We need to protect it.
And maybe this film, coming back out again and re-talking about it, is a way, it's interesting because we all think that buildings last forever, which they don't.
Yeah, right.
But in a certain way, films, I don't know if they'll last forever, photography and drawings, but they have a life of their own too. And so maybe this film bringing it back, and maybe we can bring it back again further to other places around India to remember the value and the importance of these buildings in this set, and
I
with the
hope
work
so.
you've done.
Yeah. Yes, and there's something else that one should mention also, the passing of Doshi last year. And his, I think of coming to India for me the first time and meeting Doshi. There were many people when I made the film who sort of looked at me as a 40-year-old man coming and asking these simple questions. Tell me about my father. In America, it was a little embarrassing. The moment I came to India, I felt home because everybody understood. Of course, this is the time of your life that you would ask these questions. This is right that you would ask these questions. And Doshi received me in this manner I was part of his family. And when I think of his courage as a young architect, he was offered the commission to do IIM. And he said, no, I'm not ready. I want to bring Louis Kahn. You think about the idealism that went into that moment. And then all of the labor, all of the people who put brick upon brick, that is something also that needs to be preserved. And being able to show a little bit of that in the photographs that are in the film. The women carrying the bricks and building the building by hand and loving the work. That's also something that's being preserved. So if the film helps to remind us of the effort and the love and the commitment that went into creating this thing, and that's part of what architecture is, then perhaps the film can help in the efforts of preservation of modern architecture, which I know Brinda has been so committed to. And you have too, Kyle.
Yeah. Well, it's the embodied energy, both of the materials,
well said.
but also the embodied energy of a genius who put that energy, that lifetime's worth of work into a project towards the end of his life. And it's something so invaluable to that. And invaluable kind of a waste. It would be just a tragic waste for that to be demolished, frankly, I think.
Yes, and yes, and as Doshi says, he felt that my father was from there.
Yeah.
And I know my father felt that too, that when he was in India, he felt home. And he would often tell me about that, the stories that he told me as a little boy. He felt a home there. So I also feel that in protecting those buildings, somehow it's protecting a home.
Well, life plays out in all sorts of strange ways, and hopefully the work that you've done and the work, Brinda, that you've done will help inspire someone in this audience to help figure out ways to save these really important buildings. And it's not easy, but it's worth the effort. Anything else you want to say to Nathaniel while you have just us, the three of us here together?
No, I just want to say that when we were restoring the building, we went into the office of the earlier engineers who used to work on the building when Kahn was there. And we found in some drawer sort of tucked away a little calendar, a table calendar for the month of March. And on the 17th of March was inked in, Louis Kahn died. And I thought, how 1974 somebody had written, because we couldn't find anything. We couldn't find the drawings. We found just a couple of structural drawings. There was really nothing for us to begin. We had to start from scratch. And then we found this little calendar. So, life is made up of many small experiences which together become the big experience. And I think in Kahn's work today, we saw what Nathaniel did. He really told us about his life, but in different compartments. And I think it was very, very special. Thank you.
Thank you, Nathaniel, for sharing this film with us and continuing to do that and sharing your thoughts with us. I think we'll wrap this up now, but it's really kind of amazing to see it here. And, I don't know about the rest of you, but seeing it in India just hit me in a different way. It was really magical. So thank you.
Thank you. I wish I could be there with you.
You're here with us in spirit.
Thank you.
And a big, big hug to Flora, Nathaniel.
I will right now.
She's just too adorable for words. And I was thinking
want
the
to
other
bring her-
day that Lou has now got a beautiful granddaughter.
It's true, and maybe that's the best thing I can say too. I want to bring her to see you there and to take her to IIM in Ahmedabad, and it better still be there. I want her to see it.
Okay, we're saving it for Flora, not for anyone else.
Okay.
Great. Thanks, Nathaniel. Thanks, Brinda.
Thank you.
Thank you all for coming and sharing this. A round of applause for Nathaniel.
For you, for all of you.
Have a good day, Nathaniel. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Brinda.